Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for visiting me here in my channel. My name is Kanako. I am a coach in Kimono. And today I'd like to talk about the answer to a question. How many times should I repeat the affirmation? And my answer to this question is as many as you can. And well, if you ask me how many times, well, actually you do not stop. You don't count. And you repeat the affirmation until you feel like it is so natural to say that affirmation. And well, actually, until that affirmation becomes part of yourself. So, actually, there is no such law as if you repeat one affirmation for 10,000 times or 100,000 times, you will have your manifestation. No. And suddenly there is no law telling like that. And well, I think there are certain people who says like, I just said this affirmation once and everything has happened. Everything became whatever they hoped for. Of course. Why? Because it was natural for them to have that certain way manifesting following affirmation. So actually that was their knowing, their awareness, who they really are. And what I'd like to share this time is actually do not care how many times or how much time you should spend during the day repeating your affirmation, because that doesn't matter. That is not to the point for your manifestation. For your manifestation, you just repeat affirmations or use your precious time to think about your ideal life as much as you can, as many times you can, because you eventually, that affirmation becomes part of yourself and you start to believe that you truly are. So like, if you want to attract more money, and at first you encounter the affirmation like money constantly comes to my life, comes to me effortlessly, and it continues without effort and it continues with flow, whatever the expression you choose for your affirmation. And then how do you feel when you say that affirmation? Actually, well, this is really from my own experience. My old self was so stubborn and so strong, and every time I repeated that affirmation, my old self reacted to that affirmation, asking myself, where is the money? And where do you see the number in your banknote? And yeah, that was really the start. And I had so difficult time to deal the conflict between affirmation and my old belief, my old setting, especially that exact words, reacting to that affirmation. So actually, if that is what is going on in your mind right now, I think certainly you are having so hard a time. But one thing I can suggest for you is do not care much about how many times or how much time, but certainly just let the affirmation go through in your mind and do not react. Certainly not. And well, do not try to reject or well try to convince yourself to agree with it. Even just be neutral, just go with the flow. Whatever your feelings, well, you just keep yourself calm and being neutral, and then just say the affirmation and see what happens. You don't have to control whatever happens from that one affirmation, but if you put the words or expression such as I always have more than enough, then that is what you can have, certainly. You may not see the result yet, but well, certainly at the first place, I think you can just stop your old program to react and say no, and especially saying back like you don't have enough, you do not have enough money always. Well, that was my old program, but well, just let it go. That certainly do not care much about that. So if that happens, of course, you can again softly, calmly repeat that I always have more than enough. And that's it. And then, well, just do not care how many times or how you should feel, or you really do not need to convince yourself. You do not need to convince anybody else. You do not need to control anything outside or even inside. Just let it be. Then see what happens. And I think eventually you can find yourself feeling calm and being quietly accepting what you say as your affirmation. Like, I always have more than enough. So that the reason why today I talk about do not care much about numbers, especially how many times you should say your affirmations. It doesn't matter how many times. It is the matter about how you feel and how your comfortable feeling can develop as you keep repeating your affirmation. So as long as you do not react, as long as you do not answer back, like you do not have money all the time, well, that is the really powerful way of erasing all the positive effect from affirmations. So first, you need to stop that. And in order to do that, just be calm and just let it go. And if that sayings comes up to your mind, it doesn't matter. You can still say, I always have more than enough. So just keep repeating it. Do not count it and just keep repeating it. So that way, actually, affirmations work in order to shift your subconscious mind and, of course, your vibration, and then manifestation eventually happens. So that's why all the coaches and I also tell all of my clients, do not stop, do not give up. Well, if you are really tired of repeating the same affirmation, just take some break. But do not give up, do not stop, because, well, later on, you will be really appreciate for yourself who did not quit, who did kept going with saying affirmations or writing down your goals, or, well, studying manifestation or reading Neville Goddard or reading Joseph Murphy, whatever. Anyway, so do not care much about numbers, how many times or how much time you should spend or you should keep repeating, but just observe and just keep going with your affirmations, and of course what you have set as your ideal life. Just gaze your vision board and, well, whatever the positive sayings or ideal life settings, whatever you have in your mind or maybe you have visually, just keep going. And do not count the numbers and do not care how your old program react. Just come back to that affirmation or positive image of yourself, ideal image of yourself. Then you will certainly manifest what you want in your life. So that is what I wanted to share today. And well, I really appreciate if you share your comment or questions. And thank you very much for watching my video. I will see you in my next one. Until then, enjoy every moment of your life. ありがとうございます。